Chat, let me know in the comments, are you single or in a relationship or in a talking stage? Let me know your relationship status in the comments. I got a banger from Manhood. Let's get straight into it.
Is it pathetic to admit that I want to be in love? That
No.
I want a boyfriend?
I'm 25, not married, actually never been married, no kids. Can anyone else relate?
Why are single men happier than you think? A lot of single men are not actually miserable. A lot of them are doing better than fine. Society likes to push the idea, oh, men are lost without a woman. That's a lie. For years now, men have been told that their happiness only comes from marriage and kids and overall settling down. But modern relationships don't offer men the same benefits that they used to.
Facts.
Men aren't wrong for asking, what's in it for me, before they go into a really serious relationship.
Yeah, see, this is what I don't understand why women get so mad about this stuff. It's like when I go buy a car, I'm going to ask how many miles does it have on it? Does it have any previous owners? You know, let me get a test drive. Let me see how it is. Let me sit in the seats. Let me test the stereo system. I'm going to do all this, but with you ladies, I'm just supposed to jump in blind. I'm not supposed to look at your past at all. I'm not supposed to worry about you being with any other guys. I'm just supposed to be like,
Won't they do?
it doesn't matter. She can get bucked. She can come to me with 300,000 miles and be pre-bucked. I'm cool with that. It doesn't matter. I don't even need to look at the cooch facts. No, men are very diligent and logical when it comes to making a purchase or signing an agreement of any type when it comes to something that's life-altering. And a relationship is life-altering. A marriage is life-altering. Men are typically pretty smart when it comes to this stuff and go, let me weigh out the risks involved with said decision, and they're not just going to jump into things. And that's why I think a lot of men are happier by themselves, because they know they can minimize the risk. They know, I know I can take care of myself. I know I got my bills paid. I can go have the fun I want to have. I can do what I want to do, and I don't have to have anybody in my ear chirping in my ear, nagging about anything, or giving me a hard time about the things I enjoy. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. I feel like a lot of men stay single is because it's hard for them to find a woman that have shared common interests, because a lot of women shame and demonize a lot of man's hobbies. If a guy likes to play video games, a woman's like, oh, that's a red flag, that's an ick. Like, what are you talking about? Dude, video games are awesome. They're so much fun. I love playing video games. Still to this day, I'm 34 years old. I'll still play video games. Or other things that guys like to do. Women just like to demonize those things or go, oh, that's an ick. For men, it's like, why is it that you won't accept my hobbies, but I have to accept your hobbies? If you like to go shopping and waste a lot of money, cool. I just have to be cool with that. If you like to have 15, 20, 30 pairs of shoes when you can only, wear one at a time, I'm supposed to be cool with that? I think that's the big problem. But chat, let me know if you guys agree.
Single men today have financial freedom and overall peace of mind. They have control over their own lives. They're traveling, building businesses, hitting the gym, and overall going after their goals. And until women are willing to offer a little bit more in relationships, this is going to continue. Holding men to these outdated expectations, but also a variety of new ones that show up every single day, is just not doing it for them. And they're not going to continue having relationships if this keeps up.
So true. Well, I think, and then chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. I think men can thrive off of being alone, whereas women can't. And I think it just stems back to women's nature. Women are more interested in people, and men are more interested in things. That's why men dominate like STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and men pretty much keep the infrastructure of the world going around because we're very interested in things. That's why women dominate the social services, right? Social workers, nurses, teachers, predominantly held by women. Things that are front-facing, hostesses at restaurants, baristas. Like you go to Starbucks, pay attention the next time you go to a retail store, you go to a Starbucks, you go to a restaurant. It's predominantly women because that is a person-centric field. That is a customer-centric field where you're going to be interfacing with a lot of people. Men are like, there's a lot of guys, and I bet there's a lot of guys that watch that are like, if I don't talk to a single person all day, I'm good. Like, my day's good if I don't have to talk to nobody. Like a lot of my homies are like, I like not having to talk to people. It's awesome. I get to go to work, do my thing, and come home. Like men don't really yearn for that social connection. Maybe they do when it comes to, doing something with their friends outside of work, but they don't like need it at work, Oh my Lord, what the is that?
Men are happy being single. They're definitely enjoying it more than they used to before. And because I see it. It's gotten harder to date,
It's getting harder and harder to breathe.
Lately, men are very, satisfied in their lives without women.
Yup.
They are. They're like, working a lot, either working a lot, or if they're not working, then, they'll hang out with their friends, with their family, with their kids. Well, with their kids, it's a given. But
I feel like a lot of guys now are using women just like something that's fun. You know what I mean? Recreational use only. I'll go out. If I want to go on a date, take a girl out, cool. I'll beat the cheeks, do my thing. It's not super easy for a lot of guys, but I feel like for a lot of men, they're like, I'll just casually date and avoid the headaches.
Yeah, they're happy being, if they're not married, they're happy being, bachelors and having their own space and not having to like commit to anyone. So yeah, this wasn't the case before, but this is what it is now.
I think it's because the waters are so muddy and there's not a lot of good real estate to pick from. You know what I mean? Like, so many of these women have hen hands and, it's like they're insufferable to be around. It's
Men
tough.
cannot comprehend women being single.
The hen hands, here we go. I automatically just omit your opinion when you're sitting there with the hen hands. Let's run that back, Turbo.
Women being single by choice.
Okay.
Comprehend women.
Independence.
Men cannot comprehend women being single by choice because men are not single by choice. Anytime you see a single woman...
False. That is so false. It's such a horrible take off rip. Men control access to relationships. Women control access to sex. Ladies, if a man's single, more than likely it's because he just doesn't want to be in a relationship because he probably would pursue. We control access to that. You ladies control access to man having access to your body. So if you're just getting ran through, that's your own fault.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
And you don't like anything she has to say. What's the first thing men say to her? Oh, that's why you'll always be single. That's why you'll never get a man. No wonder you're not in a relationship. It's not an insult. This is a choice. We can have that. It's not difficult to get a man. You literally just walk out there, first man you speak to.
You're a liar!
Whether he's single or not, he will give you attention. Okay? I don't even, if I need to get...
Attention doesn't correlate to a relationship, dude.
Stupid.
Don't let those veneers get to your head, bro.
Shots fired!
Somebody's number, I don't even need to speak to them. And I've done this before in a club to get a number for somebody else. I just look at...
A club, baby girl. You think the good men are in the club? You know what I mean? You're meeting your husband at the club, huh? Go buck the club up, Meeting your husband there, huh? Think a lot of guys want to meet their wife at the club? Or do you think a lot of guys that go to the club just want attention from 304s?
She's a runner, she's a track star.
That's what I would assume.
the man, say, are you single? He says yes. I give him my phone with the keypad ready. He types it in.
Yeah, that's easy fishing, brother.
Done.
That's called easy fishing. You know what I mean? If I'm going to go fishing, the first time I throw my reel out there, a fish bites, I'm gonna reel it in. Even if I'm going to let it back in the water, I'm going to reel it in. Even if it's a little pea shooter, a little, you know what I'm saying? Just a little, something real small. I'll reel that little sucker in, take it off the hook, throw it back. I'm not going to keep it, which is probably what happened to you.
Gotcha, bitch.
That easy. Men are not hard work. They're not hard to get. Women are the prize. Women that know their worth have self-respect.
Ooh, women are not the prize.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Let's really break this down, dude. Let's break this down. What's harder to be, a high-value man or a high-value woman? Okay, let's think about what is a high-value woman, right? Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, no children. That's what I would consider a high-value woman, right? What do most women consider a high-value man? It's the mark of the beast, right? 6 foot, 6 pack, 6 inches, 6 figures, and other women want him. Typically is what, most women want. Because no girl wants a guy that no other girl wants. So what's harder? 6 pack, 6 inches, 6 foot, 6 figures. Those are things you have to go out there and earn, and some of them are God-given. The 6 foot thing, it's either you got it or you don't. 6 pack, you got to earn that. 6 figures, you got to earn that. 6 inches, I mean, that's, once again, you don't really get to earn that, but the 6 pack and the 6 figures, those are the tough ones. That insinuates that you're in really good shape and that you make a lot of money. Of the things I mentioned that deem a woman high value, fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, and no children, how many of those things do you have to go out there and earn? None of them. You don't have to earn any of them as a woman. You can just be out the box with those. So if a man has to go and create his value and a woman is born with hers, who's the prize? Men are, exactly. Because men have to earn their value in the market. A man can't just go out there and be like, I'm a high value man. Dudes are going to look at him like, bro, you're stupid.
Stupid.
But a woman can go, I know my worth. What is your worth? What is your worth? Who dictates your worth? Can you just get to make your worth up? That makes no sense. That's why I say men are the prize, women are not the prize. That's why you can have one woman say, I have 50 men talking to me, but I only picked one of them. Do you not realize how dumb you sound? You only picked one of them. You didn't let all 50 of them hit, which means he is the prize.
Respect, that know who they are, that know they want and deserve princess treatment, that love themselves to the point of obsession and actually treat themselves like a princess and give themselves everything they want. Those women are difficult to get. Those women are the prize. It is not difficult.
Those women are headaches, and that's why we stay away from y'all.
Gotcha, bitch.
To get a man. It is not difficult to get several men. If you want that, it's very easy for a woman to get that. So telling us we're going to end up
getting several men, we see what kind of girl he is. Or girl she is. Many men.
Single, or that's why we haven't got a man, just shows your lack of intelligence, just shows your lack of awareness of the world we live in. It's not difficult to get men. You are not the prize, babe.
We are, sadly. Well, and the thing is she can say whatever she wants about all that, but she didn't lay out any logic when it came to why men are the actual prize. She just said how she felt. Which, hey, I guess in the female world, the emotion stuff works, but for us men, that does not work. Ain't that right, Loki? I've fallen at work and been injured. Oh, wait. I should call my lawyer.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan.
Hey, John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. It's Levi Nichs of YouTube. Can I get some cash, please?
Morgan & 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 Morgan.
Did you know that your injury could be worth millions of dollars? Morgan & Morgan is the largest injury law firm in America, and they've recovered over $20 billion for their clients. $20 billion? That's a lot of cash. The insurance companies tried to lowball me, but Morgan & Morgan was able to take my pain and suffering and turn it into cold, hard cash. It's almost a good thing I was injured. But wait. How much is Morgan & Morgan gonna cost me? You never owe them legal fees unless they're successful. So it's completely free unless you win? Yeah. Hiring a lawyer? That sounds like really difficult. It's actually super easy. You can just go to their website, and in a couple clicks, you can find out if you have a case. And you can literally do it from your smartphone. And remember, there is only one Morgan & Morgan. Wait, but it's two names though. How is it? Give me the script. Oh, both their last names. Okay, I get it. Okay, roll it. You can start your claim today by going to forthepeople.com/Levi, found in the description below. So if you're injured, you can trust Morgan & Morgan. Y'all know what time it is. Loki, free. Sit. Wait. Shake. Good boy. Other hand. Good boy. Wait. Free. Go to your place. Don't drop it now, Mr. Big Back.
Big back.
Oh, I heard Robert Redford passed away today. R.I.P. to Robert Redford, man. One of the GOATs, dude. One of the freaking GOATs. One of the greatest actors probably ever to live, I would say. Definitely up there. Who's y'all's favorite actor, chat? Let me know in the comments. Who's your favorite actor?
I say that they don't want to be in a relationship ever. Do they mean it, or do they just not want to be with the person that they told that?
Yeah, they just don't want to be in a relationship with you.
I think it's two things. They either A, have somebody they want to be with and they will stay alone until they get that person, or number two, they've been hurt so bad that they will not risk it. Like, they won't even chance getting back into another relationship. And I hate to say this, but a lot of these guys are our fathers, our uncles. Look real hard. Look at how they got hurt, and tell me if that wasn't a big part of it. Got deep.
Getting hurt by a bad woman will really scar a man. Chat, have you guys went through a villain arc? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Have you went through a villain arc? I went through a villain arc at a very early age. Very early age. I'll tell y'all about my first heartbreak here. We'll get into it. So first heartbreak was in, I believe I was 7th grade. 7th grade. So go back to when you were 13 years old. Yeah, 13 years old. 12 or 13 years old. 7th grade. Going to the movies with your girlfriend. So previously to going to the movies with my girlfriend, I was at another school. I was at the Crosstown Rival. So I went to one school, and then I went to the Crosstown Rival school. And after about a semester, I moved back to the original school, right? So I moved back to the original school, started dating this chick. We're probably dating her for maybe a couple months. I don't even know at this time how long we dated. But then we go to the movies. And I lived in a small town, Paris, Texas, to be exact. Very, very small town. Go to the movies 8, and it's a Friday night when you're in middle school. Every kid's going to the freaking movies. That's what you do. There's nothing else to do. You go to the Chili's and then you go to the movies right there next to it in the parking lot. So, go to the movies, watch the movie. Movie's over. We step outside into like the little lobby area. You know what I mean? We're all just chopping it up, and I see some people from my previous school, some girls and guys, some friends of mine that I had made while I was at this other school, start shaking their hands. Hey, what's up, Levi? What's going on? What's up, man? How y'all been? What's cracking? It's good to see y'all. I'm with my girlfriend. And then we end up leaving. I take my own car. She takes her own car. Bon voyage. Adios. Peace. Talk to her the next day. And she's like, I want to break up with you. I was like, why? She's like, well, you didn't introduce me. You didn't introduce me to the friends that you made. Man. And bro, I was distraught. Crying, snotty nose, running on the phone. She broke up with me on the phone. I was so mad. And I said, from that day on, I will never give another woman my heart. Bro, I was a savage from then on. And from then on, I was an absolute menace to society. That was my villain arc, though. I had my villain arc at a very early age. A lot of guys have their villain arcs 18, 19, 20. Some are 30 years old. I knew a guy, he had his villain arc when he was like 28. I was like, bro, sometimes it takes a while, but I really liked this girl at the time. And at that age, bro, it's all puppy love. It ain't real. It's not real love. You don't know what love is. You know what I mean? I didn't know what love was until I met Cass. We'd been together for so long. But that's also why I had thought about how long I would date a woman before I started taking her really serious. I was with Cass for 6 years before I decided to even propose to her. And we talked about a lot of stuff before we even got close to that. We lived together first. We got a dog together, which is my little son back there. We did a lot of things that a lot of married couples would do, but we did that during the dating stage because I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to go out there and get burnt. Because of that time in 7th grade. Every guy has to have a villain arc. It happens, and it's okay, dude. But the one thing you need to do as a man is you need to go back and reflect on that villain arc and see, what did I do wrong? What can I learn? The one big lesson I learned is to always keep a woman at an arm's length. You can let her feel like she's getting real close to your heart. Oh yeah, baby, I love you so much. You're just my everything. You're my world. But you got to remember at any point in time that woman could disappear. Just Houdini, just gone. Like dust in your hand, gone. And I realized that at a very early age and kept that with me. But then as I went to college, I was like, man, I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to chill. I'm not going to take none of these girls serious. I'm going to do my thing. Recreational use only. I'm going to figure out the game. I'm going to get so good at the freaking game that when a woman comes around that I really want to get, I know I can snag her up. Because I knew that if I didn't have the skills, I have a certain set of skills. I knew that if I didn't have the skills, that when I met the woman I really wanted to be with, I wouldn't be able to scoop her. I wouldn't have the poop to scoop, you know what I mean? A lot of guys don't do the work. I failed so much growing up, high school, college, and now my adult life, I kind of had it figured out. I kind of knew what I wanted. 25, 24, I was like, I kind of got the game down. I'd been so successful in college and high school, but it's because I tried. I tried a lot. I was like obsessed with women at a very early age. From like the age of 12, I was like girls. I was girl crazy, completely girl crazy. But I think that correlates to why I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like why you guys enjoy the content and gravitate towards me is because you feel like, oh, okay, Levi knows what he's talking about. He really does. Because I feel like a lot of creators, especially in MySpace, y'all remember MySpace? Man, that's the old school stuff right there, right? Tom, my boy Tom, everybody's friends with Tom. No, in MySpace, the people that create the content I create, I guess you can call it red pill, savage pill, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, black pill, I don't know. Relationship people like Kevin Samuels, RIP to the Godfather.
You're average looking at best.
People in MySpace don't typically lead a life that they preach. I'm not going to call it any names, but a lot of these guys don't have wives. They're not in relationships. They're not in monogamous relationships. They play the field. They're in open relationships. They're in polyamorous relationships. They don't practice what they preach is what I mean. A lot of guys that talk about dating are either single or not even with someone. And that doesn't make sense to me. That's the gap I saw in the market especially. Because even Kevin Samuels, he was divorced, I believe, had a child, but he had actually been in the thick of it. He had actually done it. and learned his lessons from it and was like, oh, okay, this is what the game really is. And became a high value man and realized, oh, this is what other men like me want. And he rubbed shoulders with a lot of these men because he was a consultant to them. But for me, I always wanted to practice what I preach. Like, you could look at my life outside of YouTube and be like, oh, wow, Levi really is, he does what he says. He practices what he preaches. You know what I mean? I don't rule my house with an iron rod. I'm like, yeah, you have to do this. You know, I'm not like that. Yeah, I know how to, you got to be smart enough to know how to make a woman move in the way you want her to move. Women are very emotional. You have to use a lot of emotional language. You have to give women options when it comes to things. Some women respond very well to authority. Some women don't. Some women want you to give them options. Some women want to just be told what to do. It's your job to figure out what type of woman she is so you can speak to her in a type of way that helps her move the way you want her to move. Same thing with women. Women don't have to do as much fingering out, though. You notice I keep saying fingering? Women don't have to do as much figuring out, though, because for a woman it's a lot easier. Women get chased. Women get to really be choosy with these men. Well, this guy's chasing me. This guy's chasing me. That's why men have to be the prize, because they get to go out there and pick and choose. Oh, okay, well, I want that one. He's the best option for me. Men, they date who they can, where women date what they want. Same thing with sex. Women have sex with who they want. Men have sex with who they can. It's a savage world, but it is what it is. And the guys that are persistent and learn from their mistakes and strive to be better are typically the guys that win. Have you ever met a guy that's just very charismatic? He's not the best looking guy, but you hear him speak and it's like captivating. He's very charismatic. Maybe he's not a really good looking guy, but he has like an aura around him that just people gravitate to. Like, he has a magnetic personality. People speak, like when he speaks, people listen. People want to be his friend. They don't know why. They might not even like him, but they kind of want to be his friend. Have you ever met somebody like that? I have. You just meet these people and you're like, man, this guy's cool. I don't know what it is. He's kind of a dick, but he's cool, man. I don't know about you guys, but God, I'm getting into a massive rant right now. I don't know about you guys, but growing up, oh my God, I just bumped my computer here. I really gravitated towards mentor figures and men of the guys that were a little bit of an asshole, kind of pompous, really arrogant sometimes, and confident, because they were unapologetically themselves. They didn't apologize for what they did or how they felt or how they moved or what they said. They were just like, this is me. If you don't like it, bro, go on to the next one. And that's pretty much what I did growing up. I was very against the grain. Very against the grain. I was a provocateur, is what I tell Cass I am now. I'm just a simple provocateur. I like to ruffle feathers. I've always been like that. I like to poke the bear and just to kind of see how people react. Like, ooh. And have you ever noticed that people that hate being picked on are the ones that get picked on the most? It's because people see you get riled up about it and they want to keep poking the bear. So I would find people that I could get a rise out of, and I would always give them a hard time. I always give them a hard time. But that would also lead me down a path of, do I have anything in my teeth? I just ate. I guess I'm good. That would always lead me down a path of, kind of giving people a hard time and rubbing people the wrong way, where people would be like, I don't really like Levi. I don't really like him. But you know what? I knew one day that I would find my people, and I found you guys. We got you guys watching every day. I love it. I knew there were people out there that thought the way I thought, felt the way I felt, and saw the dating market kind of in the same lens as I did. And I was like, I need to find those people. I was like, what better way than the internet? Let's get back into this video. That was probably a really long rant. I'm sorry, chat. I did not mean to rant that long.
To what women want is simple. They want
All right, here we go.
guys who are happy single. If you're a single guy, the most important thing you can do is stop waiting around for a girlfriend to live your best life.
Hey, preach. I mean, she's right, bro. Women always want to cuff up the dudes that don't want to be cuffed.
Actively find things that make you happy, that have nothing to do with women. Maybe this means leaving your comfort zone and learning to travel alone, or making new friends, or even starting a new career. Once you put yourself first, women will follow.
I mean, she got a point. Fall in love with yourself before you fall in love. What's the quote that I came up with? Oh yeah, fall in love with yourself before you fall in love with anybody else. Shubha should have bought a Honda, put it on a t-shirt. Like if you... And it seems like the dating market's changed now. It seems like as a guy, what you need to go do is just be a badass on your own. Have your life together, have your money together, have your assets together, have everything locked down tight, have your body right, your mind right, your spirit right. Like, get all that stuff locked down tight, and women will see that and be like, I just want to be around this man. But if you don't have all that together, you're really shooting at a deficit nowadays. It's sad, but it's true. Women these days don't want to help you like work through any of that stuff. You got to go do it on your own. Oh, sorry, chat.
That research shows that people who are single, especially men, are living longer than before. Single life is healthy and peaceful, no stress.
No drama, yeah, bro, for real.
Actually, quite the opposite.
Oh God! All right. This is a Harvard study. Let's see here.
According to Harvard's longest study of adult life, it turns out that people who are more socially connected to family, friends, community, a good partner, are happier, physically healthier, and live longer.
I mean, that does make sense. People thrive on community. We're social beings, so we like being around each other. Here's Emily King. Shout out to Emily King.
We're finally going to realize that more and more men are single because they want to be single. Because they've built up their lives. They like their day-to-day routine. They buy what they want and can afford. They spend time on whatever hobby they enjoy. But what they don't want is making the mistake of sacrificing those things for something less than what they already have. And I get it. We've heard that women are raising their standards. But ladies, men are too.
Yeah, women don't need to raise their standards. They just need to raise their skirts. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. But for real, though, my dildo, like, ladies, let's just let these men get the poom-poom. You know what I mean? Hop in that recreational use bucket. The women that are, conventionally conservative will probably pop out.
Women are scared of happily single men. You want to know why? Let's get into it. Being happily single as a man makes you more appealing. Men that don't need to be in a relationship. Men that have high standards. Men that don't chase women. They chase in purpose. This makes women think. Wonder if that man is actually interested in them. And will in turn, y'all listen to this, increase the value of that man and his expressed interest in their minds.
I mean, facts. That's why I would say focus on you, bro. Focus on yourself. Focus on your purpose. Focus on your drive, your mission.
You know what the funniest thing about so many men is nowadays? So many men are no longer scared of being single. They're now scared of being in a soul-sucking, detrimental relationship that's only going to waste their time, waste their energy, waste their effort, and waste their money. They would rather be single than be in a bad relationship. So it's not that men are complaining because they're single. Men are complaining because they've just seen everything as such a waste of time for them lately.
I mean, true. And I think we're seeing a big rise in a lot of these based women. Like, so many women are realizing that feminism has lied to them and led them down a path of just despair and loneliness. I'm just so alone and I just can't handle it by myself. Whereas men are like, dude, I got my dog. Oops, sorry. I got my dog. Wrong scene there. I got my dog and my hobbies. I'm good to go. I really don't need anything else. I feel like a lot of men are realizing that, and also the risk. There's a big risk being in a relationship. There's a big risk being married, and I knew that risk getting into it. I really did. But there were some criteria that I was like, I have to check these boxes before I can, take the next step with Cass. That's why I always say there's two routes you can go as a man when it comes to being in a relationship with a woman. Number one, you both could be peasants and villagers. You build the kingdom together. You become a king, she becomes your queen, and you get to feast on your spoils. Right? Or you go become a king on your own fruition. You meet a little princess, you can pluck her out of the village, whatever, make her a princess, put her in the king's court, and then share her amongst your concubines. That's what you can do. But if you've went out and built a good life for yourself, don't let a woman come in when you're at the finish line and go, yay, we won! Yay! Yay, we won! No. Me won. Me. Not we, me. You got to make that woman prove herself, bro. Because if you don't, you're going to buck around and get bamboozled. So many men do. They get lost in that sauce. They get lost in that gushy, that mush. Like, oh my God, it feels like I'm punching a boot full of yogurt. Like, God, that's wetty, like spaghetti that's good. It's like mashed potatoes with gravy in it. Oh my God, they get mixed up in that sauce. And before you know it, you do that too much, man. You're lost in the said sauce. You're dug in deep. You got your toes curled in it. Just like you're in there, brother. You get lost in it. You can't think logically. You're thinking emotionally. You're thinking like a woman. Like, bro, you got to watch out, man. You got to watch out. Be very careful. Ain't that right, Lokes? But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It was good to have you guys out, man. Until next time. Peace.
Levi Nichs.